Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shruti Mathur from Sri Venkateshwara College. Welcome to this last session on Advanced Excel, which is on data analysis. In this session, we will talk about the data analysis tools in MS Excel. We will learn how to load the analysis tool pack and we will demonstrate its use with the help of some examples. Dear friends, in Excel there is an add-in for data analysis tools which helps us in performing statistical analysis of data. We can calculate descriptive statistics, correlation analysis, regression, and a number of other such statistical tools can be applied to our data. This is particularly useful for researchers. However, this tool pack is not directly loaded in Excel and we may have to load it from the Files tab under Options and Add-ins. Let us just see how this is loaded. Of course, in my system it is already there, but we can go to the File tab and click on Options. The Excel Options dialog box opens. From this we select Add-ins. Under Add-ins, we select Manage Excel Add-ins and click on Go. The Add-ins dialog box opens. And from here, we will check the Analysis Tool Pack checkbox and click on OK. When we do that, the Data Analysis Tool Pack is loaded under the Analysis group of commands in the Data tab. So if I want to access this, I will just click on the Data tab and then click on Data Analysis under the Analysis group of commands. I will just show you what all commands can be accessed or what all tools are there under data analysis. So as soon as I click on this, it asks me which tool I want to use and the number of options are given for analysis. So I can use ANOVA, I can use correlation, covariance, descriptive statistics, exponential smoothing, F-tests, Fourier analysis, histogram, moving average, random number generation, rank, percentiles, regression, sampling, t-tests and z-test. So for a researcher doing some basic research, there are enough tools in Excel to help with the work. Now let us start with the data that we have. I have data about the marks in a subject of 20 students and I am interested in calculating descriptive statistics. That is, I want to find out what are the mean, mode, standard deviation, etc. Now one way is, of course, I can use the functions which are available in Excel and calculate all the parameters. But with data analysis, I can do that in a single step or in a single command. So I will go and show you how descriptive statistics can be calculated. So select descriptive statistics from the analysis tools and click on OK. Descriptive statistics dialog box opens, which asks me to give the input range. Input range is the range where my marks or the data has been entered. So I will select the range from C1 to C21. This includes my header also. The data is grouped by columns and there are labels in my first row. So I have checked this. In case there are no labels in your first row, you can uncheck this box. Define where you want the output to be displayed. So I can select any cell over here. Click on Summary Statistics. If you want, you can also find the confidence level for mean and the kth largest and smallest largest. Kth smallest. Then click on OK. You can see that summary statistics have been calculated. It is showing me mean, standard error, median, mode, standard deviation, variance, kurtosis, skewness, range, minimum value, maximum value, sum and count. So this is how we can calculate the descriptive statistics. Now another tool that I may be interested in is histogram, creation of histogram. Histogram is a frequency distribution that we see. So here I have data for the age of 100 people in a particular locality. I will select this data. I will go to data analysis and from here I will select histogram and click on OK. Now it asks me the input range. Input range I have already selected from A1 to A101. Next it asks me where my bins are. Now, what are the bins? Bins are the largest the upper limits of the interval, or the largest value to be included in an interval. These are my bins. So my bins are from D5 to D9. All my data has labels, so I have selected that. And then it asks me where I want to show the output. So maybe I want to show the output, say here. So I will select chart output, check the chart output checkbox and click on OK. You can see that it has created a frequency distribution for me, and it is also showing me a histogram for this data. All the people who had age more than 80 have been put in the last interval, and it has given the title more. So anybody who's more than 80 years has been placed here. Anybody who is from 0 to 20 is placed in the first interval, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80 and 80 to 100. Now my histogram, of course, this histogram should not have gaps. So I will just select one of the columns and right click to go to format data series, and from here I can format my chart and say that there should be no gap. So I will reduce the gap width to 0%. I can further choose to format my data, so I can make it say maybe something like this. I can also change the bins. Instead of just writing 20, which is confusing, I can change the bin to 0 to 20, then say 20 to 40, and 40 to 60, then 60 to 80, and more than 80. So you can see the histogram has changed and adjusted accordingly. So this is how you can create a histogram in using the data analysis. Next, one more tool I will show you. This is also a very useful tool for everybody, and the tool that we are going to show is regression. Now, in regression, I have data about regression as well as correlation we will talk about. So here I have data about rainfall and corresponding sugar production in a particular year in various regions of the country. So here my independent variable is rainfall X, and Y, which is sugar production, is my dependent variable. I will start by doing a correlation analysis. So I'll again go to data, select data analysis and select correlation from here and click on OK. The correlation dialog box opens, asks me for the input range, and my input range of course is going to be all the data including the headers. I have grouped it by columns. I have labels in my first row, and it is asking me where to show my output. I have selected F1. So I will click on OK, and you can see that it is showing me the correlation coefficient between the two variables is quite high, 0.9 approximately. Next, I am interested in running a regression using sugar production as the dependent and rainfall as the independent variable. So for that, again I'll go to data analysis and I'll select regression from the tools, and I'll click on OK. The regression dialog box asks me for the input Y range. My input Y range is this range, which is the sugar production. It asks me for the input X range. Input X range is this range that I have, which is the rainfall. A1 to A11 is my input X range. Next, my data has labels, and I want to keep the confidence level to be 95%, which is the usual one that everybody uses, but you can change the confidence level to whatever you feel like. Then it is asking me the output where it should be shown. It is showing F7. I'm okay with that. If you also want to calculate residuals, standard residuals, or any plots, you can do that also. I'm not choosing these options. I'm just going to click on OK. It is saying that the regression range is going to overwrite the existing data. That is okay. So now you can see that my output has been calculated. So I can see that my adjusted R square is there. standard error is being shown, then it is also showing me the significance f which is less than 0.05. Further, it is showing me the p values which are all less than 0.05, and it is showing me the t statistics. So it is showing me all the things which I require for doing regression analysis. It is showing me the coefficients also. So this is how we can do regression analysis also using data analysis, and I have shown you all the other tools also which are there, which you can explore according to your requirements. So I hope you have understood how data analysis can be used, and this is all that we will be taking up. Thank you.